Hi, myself, Rocky, and welcome back. Today, we are diving into one of the most disturbing father-son moments in Game of Thrones. How King Robert Baratheon nearly killed Joffrey when he was just a boy. Let's get into the ugly truth behind Robert's uncontrollable rage and Joffrey's twisted cruelty. Robert Baratheon, once a mighty warrior, now a broken king, drowning in wine and regret. But what truly haunted him wasn't just the weight of the crown. It was his firstborn son, Joffrey, who he never could stomach. The truth is, Robert never saw Joffrey as his son, but rather as an abomination, a child who reminded him too much of Cersei's vile nature. In the books, Robert's hatred for Joffrey was a festering wound. He often dismissed him with disdain, referring to him as a damned little monster, and for good reason. Joffrey wasn't like other children. Cruelty ran deep in his veins. He relished in causing pain, even as a boy. One day, young Joffrey decided to prove his strength. He caught a pregnant cat, savagely butchered it, then boasted to his father, thinking Robert would be impressed. But that's where Joffrey made his fatal mistake. When Joffrey, with a wicked grin on his face, showed off the dead creature, Robert's blood boiled. This wasn't a moment of fatherly disappointment. This was pure, unbridled rage. "You dare show me this filth?" he roared, his voice shaking the halls. His hand reached for his belt, ready to beat the boy senseless. For one terrifying moment, Robert's fist clenched so tight, it seemed he might strike Joffrey down for good. This wasn't just about a dead cat. This was the moment Robert saw Joffrey for what he truly was, a reflection of the woman he despised, Cersei. The same cruel smile, the same malice. And in that moment, Robert felt the fury of 100 battles rise up in him. His love for violence, never quite buried, almost took over completely. From the books, we get an even deeper look into Robert's thoughts. He saw Joffrey as a disgrace, someone who wasn't fit to bear the Baratheon name. "If I had the guts, I'd smash his skull right now," Robert once confided to a close friend. These weren't idle words. Robert truly believed that the world would be better off without Joffrey. Before this moment, Robert had always kept his distance from Joffrey. He couldn't stand to be around him for long. His marriage to Cersei was a nightmare, and Joffrey was a living reminder of that misery. But after this incident, Robert grew even more detached. He would drink more, fight more, and care less. The more Joffrey grew, the less Robert could tolerate him. And Joffrey? He only grew more twisted. The incident with the cat was just the beginning of his sadistic tendencies. Instead of learning from his father's outburst, Joffrey took it as a challenge to become even more vicious. And as we all know, he succeeded. So, what does this moment tell us? It reveals a dark truth about Robert Baratheon, that he wasn't just a failed king. He was a failed father. And the day he almost killed Joffrey was the day he realized he had truly lost everything. Not just the crown, not just his honor, but his family. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Robert would have been justified in striking Joffrey down that day? Or was this just another symptom of Robert's crumbling reign? And before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more intense deep dives into the world of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire.